Hey, 49ers faithful. Today was one of those days in the NFC that felt like it was moving at lightning speed. There was so much action, so many results, and San Francisco had a lot on the line as they came off their bye week, looking to get back in the mix for a strong playoff push. The NFC landscape was packed with drama, with teams jockeying for position in ways that made every play count. Over in the early window, the Chicago Bears made a statement by taking down the Cleveland Browns, solidifying their spot as the 7th seed. While up in the NFC West, the Rams handled business against the Detroit Lions, and the Seahawks pulled off a last-second field goal to edge the Indianapolis Colts. Every team ahead of San Francisco in the standings won their games, meaning the Niners couldn't afford any slip-ups. They had to come out firing and prove that their spot in the playoffs was well-earned. Coming off the bye, it was clear that the Niners were rested, focused, and ready to execute. From the opening snap, you could tell Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy had this team dialed in. San Francisco's offense was on point, hitting on all cylinders, moving with efficiency and precision, and dominating the early stages of the game. They scored on their first 5 drives, a feat they hadn't accomplished since Week 13 of the prior season against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That kind of start is the kind that sets the tone, putting opponents immediately on their heels, forcing them to play catch-up. Tennessee tried to make things interesting late in the game, but the Niners' control over the field, the pace, and the ball was evident from start to finish. Brock Purdy, in particular, put on a show that will be remembered. His efficiency was remarkable, completing 23 of 30 passes for 295 yards, tossing 3 touchdowns with 0 interceptions, and adding 44 rushing yards on top of that. What was truly impressive was his mobility and creativity, making plays out of structure, extending plays with his legs, improvising in ways that reminded fans of some of the great dual-threat quarterbacks in college football history. Purdy looked confident, composed, and dynamic, creating opportunities downfield while keeping the offense balanced and unpredictable. It was easily his best performance of the season, and even considering Tennessee's struggles, his ability to read the defense, find open receivers, and improvise under pressure was nothing short of elite. The offensive line and running game also played a huge role in the Niners' dominance. San Francisco ran the ball 38 times for 138 yards, demonstrating the kind of balance Kyle Shanahan loves to establish. When the run game clicks, the passing game opens up, making life easier for the quarterback and creating big play opportunities for the wide receivers. Ricky Parrall was explosive in this matchup, catching 6 of 7 targets for 96 yards, including a long of 38. George Kittle continues to be a force, hauling in 8 passes for 88 yards and finding the end zone once again, while Jawan Jennings made his mark with 2 touchdowns, reinforcing the chemistry he has with Purdy. Other weapons got involved as well, including Christian McCaffrey, Demarcus Robinson, Kendrick Bourne, and Kyle Juszczyk, showing the depth and versatility of the Niners' offensive arsenal even with some injuries affecting the roster. While the offense was firing on all cylinders, the defense had some concerns to address. Tennessee was able to generate big plays through the air, with Gunnar Helm finding space for a 34-yard touchdown, Van Jefferson producing a 43-yard gain, and other receivers making explosive plays against a Niners defense that struggled at times to maintain tight coverage. The run defense also had issues, allowing Tony Pollard and Ty Spears to rack up significant yardage on the ground, averaging over 7 yards per carry combined. While tackling was not necessarily the problem, gaps in assignment and coverage allowed the Titans to stay competitive at certain points, and these are the kinds of lapses the Niners cannot afford against stronger opponents in the coming weeks. Despite these challenges, the offense more than compensated, putting up 37 points and ensuring a decisive victory, which is exactly the kind of team effort needed when your defensive depth is tested due to injuries to stars like Fred Warner and Nick Bosa. The victory also had implications for the NFC playoff picture. The Rams, by beating Detroit, secured a playoff berth and now hold the number 1 seed at 11-3. The Bears moved up to the 2nd seed after their win, while the Packers dropped to the 7th spot following a loss to the Denver Broncos. The Niners, now 10-4, solidified their position and demonstrated that they can compete with anyone, provided the offense continues to perform at this level. Each remaining game is crucial, particularly matchups against divisional rivals like the Seahawks and Rams, and every play on both sides of the ball will matter more than ever as the season heads towards climax. Looking ahead, it is clear that San Francisco's formula for success this year relies heavily on a clean, efficient offense carrying the load when the defense faces challenges. Brock Purdy's leadership, Kyle Shanahan's game planning, and the versatile playmakers on offense have to maintain this level of production to keep the team in contention. The run game, the passing game, and smart play calling all need to operate in harmony to compensate for defensive lapses and ensure that the Niners control the tempo and outcome of each contest. If this balance continues, there is no reason to believe that San Francisco cannot compete with any team in the league. The challenges are significant, but with the kind of performance displayed today, the Niners have proven they are capable of rising to the occasion and dominating when it matters most. San Francisco's offense is firing on all cylinders. The quarterback is playing at the peak of his abilities, and the skill position players are making an impact every time they touch the ball. The balance of the run and pass game is perfect, allowing the team to maintain control of the clock while keeping defenses guessing and generating explosive plays downfield. Purdy's ability to extend plays, make precise throws under pressure, and improvise when the pocket collapses is creating opportunities that no one else on the roster could replicate. His connection with receivers like Kittle, Jennings, Perall, and McCaffrey is seamless, and the versatility of the offensive personnel allows Shanahan to mix formations, create mismatches, and exploit weaknesses in the defense. Even with the defensive concerns, San Francisco demonstrated that they can overcome adversity and still produce a dominant performance. The team's ability to control the tempo, dominate time of possession by over 15 minutes, and limit turnovers while maximizing scoring opportunities sets them apart in the NFC and shows that they are fully capable of competing in a high-stakes playoff environment. The remaining games will test the team's resilience, depth, and preparation, but with the offense playing at this level, the Niners have positioned themselves to remain in the conversation for the division title and a strong seed in the playoffs. The energy from the bye week translated directly onto the field. The Niners came out composed, methodical, and relentless in their execution. Every drive was purposeful, every play calculated, and the chemistry between the quarterback and his skill players was undeniable. Purdy's ability to remain poised while making creative, improvisational plays demonstrates not only his talent, but also his growth as a leader on this team. The offense set the tone, and even though there were moments when the defense allowed big gains, the team's overall performance showed resilience, preparation, and adaptability that will be essential in the toughest matchups remaining. Time of possession, third down efficiency, and the ability to sustain drives were all in San Francisco's favor. Their first 5 drives, ending in scores, demonstrated a level of control and execution rarely seen in the NFL. Purdy's accuracy, his connection with his receivers, and his decision-making helped the team maintain momentum and dictate the pace of the game. Even the running game complemented the passing attack perfectly, keeping the defense off balance and creating opportunities for explosive plays. The combination of strategic play calling and individual talent allowed the Niners to dominate in all phases of the game, setting them up for continued success as they chase a deep playoff run. As the dust settles from today's matchup, it is clear that the San Francisco 49ers are hitting a rhythm that could carry them deep into the playoffs. The offense has become the heartbeat of the team, with Brock Purdy orchestrating drives with precision, vision, and creativity that keeps opposing defenses constantly on edge. His dual-threat ability has added an entirely new dimension to the Niners' game plan. Purdy is no longer just a quarterback making standard reads. He is improvising, extending plays with his legs, and finding open receivers downfield in situations where most quarterbacks would have taken a sack or forced a throw. The result is an offense that is not only productive but explosive, capable of putting up points in quick succession while controlling the tempo of the game. George Kittle continues to be a cornerstone of this offense, not just as a reliable target, but as a player who can create separation and generate yardage after the catch. His connection with Purdy is undeniable, and the chemistry extends across the receiving core. Jawan Jennings' clutch plays and ability to find the end zone in critical moments make him a weapon defenses must account for, while Christian McCaffrey's versatility in both the running and passing game adds another layer of complexity for opponents. Ricky Parol's big play ability keeps the field stretched and ensures that defenses cannot focus solely on one threat. Even with Brandon Ayuk no longer in the picture, the depth of the receiving core allows the offense to maintain its dynamic nature and balance. The run game has been equally essential. By racking up 38 carries for 138 yards against Tennessee, the Niners proved once again that balance is key to their success. Kyle Shanahan's scheme emphasizes the importance of a strong ground attack to open up the passing game, and when the offensive line executes effectively, the quarterback's job becomes much easier. The combination of power runs, zone reads, and misdirection plays keeps defenses guessing and creates opportunities for big gains both on the ground and through the air. Christian McCaffrey's involvement in both facets of the offense ensures that even with injuries and roster adjustments, the Niners can sustain drives, control the clock, and keep opposing offenses off the field. While the offense dominated, the defense showed signs of inconsistency that cannot be ignored. Tennessee was able to generate explosive plays, with receivers finding gaps and running backs gaining significant yardage per carry. Tony Pollard and Ty Spears had standout performances on the ground, highlighting the need for the Niners to tighten up their run defense moving forward. Coverage breakdowns allowed receivers like Gunnar Helm and Van Jefferson to make big gains, and although some of these were spectacular individual efforts, the overall defensive structure needs to be more disciplined. Tackling was generally sound, but when gaps appeared, the Titans were able to exploit them, resulting in chunk plays that could have changed the momentum had the Niners not been so dominant offensively. Looking at the bigger picture, San Francisco's ability to carry the load on offense is what will define their season. The team's remaining matchups, including crucial games against the Colts, Bears, and Seahawks, will test their defensive depth and ability to maintain balance. The offensive leaders, Purdy, Kittle, McCaffrey, and key receivers, must continue to perform at this high level. Any lapse in production could put additional pressure on the defense, which has shown moments of vulnerability. The balance between offensive dominance and defensive support will be the determining factor as the Niners move through the final stretch of the regular season. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. San Francisco is buzzing with whispers from the football world, and at the center of it all is none other than Mike Evans. Sources close to the team suggest that the star wide receiver has arrived in the city by the bay, instantly injecting life into a 49ers passing attack that has been searching for an electrifying spark. The mere mention of Evans in red and gold jerseys is enough to set fans' imaginations ablaze, with rumors circulating that his presence could completely alter the dynamic of the team's aerial game. Evans, known for his combination of size, speed, and hands that rarely let a ball slip through, has been a constant highlight reel in the league. While he has already established himself as a household name, insiders hint that joining the 49ers could be the start of a new chapter that elevates both his game and the offense as a whole. Observers point to the team's current receiving core and quarterback situation, suggesting that Evans' arrival might finally give the passing game the consistency and threat level it has been missing. Word on the street is that coaches and teammates alike are buzzing with anticipation. The locker room reportedly erupted in excitement as the news spread, with many envisioning the kind of deep ball connections that could become a nightly spectacle. Analysts are already speculating on how the team might redesign its offensive strategy, leaning on Evans' ability to stretch the field and create mismatches that defenses simply cannot ignore. Even more tantalizing are the murmurs about potential chemistry with key offensive playmakers. Rumors hint that Evans could form an instant synergy with the quarterbacks, exploiting defensive lapses and opening lanes not just for himself, but for the entire roster. Fans are imagining highlight after highlight, from contested catches along the sidelines to jaw-dropping touchdowns in the end zone. Of course, the deal itself remains shrouded in mystery, with details scarce and speculation running rampant. Will Evans' arrival be the game-changer the 49ers have been hoping for? Or is it simply another piece in an already complex puzzle? For now, the city and its fans can only speculate, watch the headlines, and dream about the fireworks this high-profile addition could bring to the field. If the rumors hold true, San Francisco may be on the cusp of a thrilling new era, one where Mike Evans isn't just a name on a roster, but the spark that ignites an offense hungry for dominance. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.